I can remember this was like the most nerve-wracking moment of my life. My back was against the wall. My palms were like sweaty and clammy. My heart was racing, like 50,000 horses were just pounding on the ground below me. And I was just taking breaths. I was doing everything I could that I'd learned, all the meditation, all the gratitude, to just try to get my butterflies to fly in formation. But the noise, like in the background, the energy of the crowd, the excitement and enthusiasm just kept drawing my attention. I just couldn't shake it, and it just amplified that feeling a lot. And I just had to take a moment to realize, am I really ready for this? Is this my moment that I've been working towards for so long? And I had to take just a second to realize where I was. I was in one of the world's most luxurious hotels, the Fairmont Banff Springs, where I'd been invited to speak. And it was surrounded by these beautiful mountains. I mean, some of the tallest mountains in the world, snow-capped, beautiful trees. It was a true winter wonderland. And I was standing there listening to the crowd. I knew I was about to be called up. I just kept thinking, am I really ready for this? You know, I did not feel ready. And maybe you can relate to that moment too, where you're just nervous. It's like, oh my God, you know a next level is coming. A new level of growth is there. And it was only a few months ago I just did my first seminar. And I had no previous seminar experience before this. I had done a couple of talks here and there, but I'd never run my own event. I'd never run my own seminar before. But I used this principle of ready, fire, aim to deploy to get myself doing the work, because my time had come. Have you ever had that moment where you're like, you know you got to do it, but like you're scared to do it, and you're like, should I do it? Oh my God, and you're just battling inside. There comes a moment where you've just got to go, like you have to do it, and that's what this principle is very much about. But that seminar, one video from that, got me to Canada a few months later. So I went from first seminar in Canberra to international speaking overseas in front of a room of hundreds and hundreds of people within a few months, not years. And I hadn't done the seminar circuit, where most speakers are taught, go and do a seminar circuit, meaning keep speaking, get on stages everywhere. And most speakers I know that are professionals over in America, they literally do 100 to 300 speaking gigs per year, right? Before they get invited to big events. And so there's a way to shortcut things too. If you're prepared up front, so like we talked about with training before, the Kobe Bryants of the world, the Steve Jobs of the world, anybody who's got an accolade that you admire, they don't have to be household names, but someone you admire and they're good at what they do, I guarantee you they've done that work behind closed doors for a long time before it shows up in public, and it just looks effortless and easy. And so ready, fire, and aim is that principle. It's what got me onto that stage, and it's what will open up doors for you if you understand how to use this on every idea. Now, not every idea you do is going to be a winner or a home run. That's not the point though, is it? The point is, just like with Babe Ruth and the analogy of striking out, more than hitting a home run, how do you keep showing up? That's the key. How do you keep, that to me is a winner, don't you think? Somebody keeps showing up. That adversity doesn't get them down to the point they quit. It will hit you sometimes, of course. That's what it's for. So when we look at the first principle of understanding what ready means, what does that really mean? Well, the first question you probably ask is, am I actually ready? And the answer probably is no, right? You don't feel ready.
Will I ever be ready though?
Then the next question is, will I ever be ready? Right? The real question to ask is, are you willing?
Yes.
Because you are ready. You are absolutely ready. Think about it like this, from a larger life point of view. The only time you have is this present moment. Now, in our imagination, we can, future cast and think, well, if I do X, Y, and Z, I can prepare myself for this moment. And so we play that little game with ourselves, like, when I get to this point, I will do this. Unfortunately, that moment doesn't really come for most people, because the universe sort of has this agreement with us that the guarantee is, most people say there's no guarantees. There is a guarantee. The guarantee is if you are prepared to do the work, and you are prepared to do it in advance of any result, and you are prepared to sacrifice your life for that work, if you do that, over enough period of time, you can get the things you really want. But if you don't make that commitment up front, then you can do the work and never get the results you want. So this is the quandary for most people. They're stuck in the rut. They're in a business or engaged in a profession, let's say real estate, and they know that they could make more money, but they kid themselves because they don't deploy on what works, right? They just do the routine stuff, and the results never change. because you've got to make that commitment. I am willing to give everything to this art, this sport, this craft, this business of mine. I'm absolutely willing to do it. I am ready for it, but I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to give up everything. Then you get that guarantee. But you have to be in it for life. It's not a 5-year plan. It's not a 1-day plan. It's not a we'll see. It's an either-or plan. So if you can make that commitment, then you open up the doors. Now, if we look at time, well, we don't have a lot of it, right? So I always say, do you have a contract to live forever? No, right? So why screw around? You know, if you try an idea and it doesn't work out, and you know that from certain results, then you get to do what's in the fire and the aim part of this process, which is something we'll get to in a moment. You pivot, you change direction. But asking yourself, if you get the idea, if it comes to you, inside of you, you know, like we were talking about this before, Elliot, there is a purpose for you. And the more that you push that down and away, the more frustrating things become. Because you know there's something you're here to do, and you buried it under virus code or limiting beliefs or limiting decisions, but you know there's something you should be doing in a certain area. And the faster you act in that area, the more confidence you get, and the more you feel that you're on the right track, the more you become on the right track. And that's the firing part of it, right? Firing, and this is it. Act impulsively. Impulsively, meaning the best business people I've witnessed execute on ideas, and I've had the pleasure of being around people talking about some really big ideas and seeing them come to life, like actually done. As soon as the idea comes, it's not like, where's the money going to come from? You know, like, do I have the time? I'm already busy. Don't you know I have a family? You know, those normal things that everybody has as a real excuse, and that's fine if you want to use that. They act impulsively. They go on it straight away. They do something very small. It could be picking up a phone, making that phone call. In my experience, the first seminar of Ready, Fire, Aim, my time was there. I was like, I know I got to do this. The first thing was call the coolest event space I could find in Canberra at that time, which was Regatta Point, call them up and book the room for 3 months from now. It was $650. I'm like, where the hell's that money going to come from? You know, like, so, all right, doesn't matter. I'm in. Like, palms are sweaty again. I'm like freaking out because I'm like, what am I going to talk about? I had no content. I had no seminar name. I didn't know what I was going to be selling. And I knew like how seminars sort of worked, but I never done one. And nobody knew who the hell I was in Canberra. And worse yet, there were people that knew me in Canberra, right? I grew up here. I was in school here. So I'm thinking my Facebook ads are going to go out. People are going to see me and then go, who is this? I know that guy. He shouldn't be doing that. He's not qualified. He's not ready, right? That's what you think. That didn't happen to me at all, right? Nobody commented. In fact, people bought tickets. I was like, holy shit, people are buying tickets. I better create a seminar, right? So, right? That's the firing part, though. You act impulsively. You don't do it without ascertaining some form of, if there's a little bit of risk in this, because there is risk not doing the thing. Now, I'm not saying act childishly or foolhardily. You've absolutely got to weigh up a couple of things, but not very quickly, not very slowly. See, if I was to hold this, for example, all right, for the remainder of the talk, I reckon I could do it. It's not very heavy, would you agree? Probably a couple 100 grams. But over the course of a day, that becomes enormously heavy. After 2 or 3 days, you know, I'd probably get a Guinness World Record for this. Now, let that represent your decisions. If you are procrastinating on a decision, how heavy does it weigh over time? Right? It gets heavier and harder. The same decision made impulsively frees you because you can at least get the gears in motion to move the right direction rather than thinking, do it, don't do it, should I, shouldn't I, buy it, don't buy it, sell, don't sell. That's ambivalence. And notice my arms drop. This is getting heavy, but that's the decision weighing, should I, shouldn't I? When things are right, when I'm ready, the same rhetoric inside, right? The time is now. You are ready if you get the idea. There's a very good saying, if you're pregnant with the idea, your time is now. And it's true, because you wouldn't get the concept. It wouldn't come to you. Think about it for a minute. The things that come to you do not come to other people until they're ready too. Like you're doing business, you're presenting an opportunity. Maybe it's like the best opportunity for you, but if they're not really ready in the time, it just plants a seed. You come back to that later, maybe a year from now. Oh, I get it. Time freedom. Oh man, I don't have to work for someone. I understand. I see the light. But that's our job, right? So when we're looking at fire, you make the decision based upon if you want to do it, that's it. Not, will I make money from it yet? Like, you've got to do it because deep down you know it's the right thing for you to do. I truly believe that when we get below our rationale, which is rationing lies to the mind, we get below that logic and we really ask ourselves on a gut feeling level, what I should be doing, where should I be going, what's the next move, you'll get the answer and it'll be the right one every time. Your job then is to act on that straight away. Smallest action is good, but I say take the biggest commitment first. So it's in reverse, isn't it? So for me to speak, it was never about, well, maybe I'll pen out my seminar. I'll create a topic. I'll make beautiful logos and branding. Yeah. I'll get validation for it too. I'll tell everyone, I'll ask them, what do you think? No, it was biggest commitment first. Get the room, pay for the room. Now I'm in. Okay, next biggest commitment, get Facebook ads up, because if those ads create sales, I'm committed. I can't now call people and say I'm canceling, right? So now I need to deliver. So therefore I could start creating the content. Now, to do that was very simple. To do an ad, I needed to have a topic. So I thought, what am I doing with my life? Well, I've turned my passion for ballroom dancing into a business, so I'm going to teach people how to do that. That was my topic. And I knew I could change it. I just need to get sales first, right? So that's what the Ready, Fire principle is about. Acting impulsively, acting in the now, and doing it because you know it's the right move. And ask yourself, am I willing to do that move? Now, the aiming is critical, because how do we aim something we've already deployed on? What do we do, Elliot? The bullet's in the air. You're telling me I fired my gun and now I'm going to go up to that bullet and smack it around as it's moving. Pretty much, yes. Because that's what all companies do. That's what all great ideas do. That's what all business leaders do. That's what all companies do if you don't even know it. They pivot all the time. They iterate. So if you're a startup business, for example, with an app as an idea, then what ends up happening is you release a small 10% version of the product to the market. You get feedback. The market in that space tells you, we like this, we don't like that. You change it. You release the next version and you continue doing that. And as you build the audience around the product, you keep getting further money. That's how ideas are actually built. So Facebook didn't come along as it exists today, as you would know. It got big from a very small, tiny product that targeted college markets. That's how it started, right? And so from that, we move. So we've deployed on our idea. We know we're willing to do the work. We know it's ready. We're ready for it. And then as we're doing the work, we're figuring out the pieces as we go along. We're course correcting and pivoting depending on all the different circumstances, feedback, or maybe one person came to your event and next time you need 10. So you've got to change something, right? Something didn't work. Right? And so that is our responsibility. But unfortunately, most people want to aim first. The best laid plan is what they're going for before they actually execute. And I encourage you, have a plan if you need, but I would recommend you take said plan and burn it. Take the plan, put a little candle, burn it, and develop a map. Because a map is far better in a forest than a plan. Plan is, don't die in the forest. Make it through the woods, make sure I camp in the forest, and have plenty of snacks. Okay, awesome. Go in the forest with that, you die. There's no way you're going to navigate, is there? But life is like that. We've got to navigate through the terrains of obstacles and setbacks, through the valleys to get to our summit. But as we're going through that, we have to be aware of going back to the fire principle all the time. What is actually happening? Where should I be going? What's my next decision? Should I meet with this person? Shouldn't I meet with this person? Do I cancel that partnership? Seriously, like things can be going tremendously for you in business. You can be making really good money and you just know it's not right. You've got to follow that intuition because it will cost you more in the long run. Every time. This is how it works. This is our deal. Up front, we've got to make that a commitment. I'm willing to give everything I've got up front to this. I'm willing to commit, but I'm also willing to be flexible within that. And it does always come back to ultimately your purpose. If your purpose is I know in my space, for me, speaking is an area that I truly believe I should be in. I should be speaking, whatever that vehicle looks like, whether it's writing books or television or radio, whatever that may be, it doesn't matter, it's the same medium, right? But you put me in front of a car, I'll look at it and go, no idea what that thing does, right? Like I look at an engine and go, no. I get messy hands, like, no. I like my moisturized hands. So it's just not my space. I can't think mechanically. And it's not a limiting belief. It's just my skill set. I've tried that before. I've been there before. It's not where I should be. And that's the frustration for most people is they're ready, fire, aiming on the wrong area of life. And they get so frustrated because like it's not working. It's like it's not supposed to. That's your role, is to follow your purpose. Then start acting on these ideas as quickly as possible. And with that, what do you think will happen to the quality of your life? Because at least in the pursuit of these things, the pursuit of excellence rather than the pursuit of happiness, happiness is such a weak thing to aim for. Happiness is the starting point of a normal person's life. Excellence is what we're going for, because excellence means you are pushing the comfort zone that you've built with other people's bricks, right? Your comfort zone is your own experiences and what you've done in your life with bricks around you like a wall. It's very safe there, but built with the opinions of other people, what you can and can't do, what society tells you is right and normal, and the level you should be at for a woman of this age or an occupation or a station of life. And what we do in this sort of space and in these sort of courses is we destroy and take out those bricks. When you have a breakthrough, that's smashing a whole wall down. So you can keep moving forward, right? That's the purpose. That's your job. That's our responsibility. And with that, go forward and ready, fire, aim.